Welcome back to the channel. I've been looking to upgrade the head unit in my MG3, and this is what I've come up with. This is the ATOTO F7WE, a single DIN head unit with a 5-inch touchscreen that has wired or wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, front and rear cameras. It boasts a hell of a lot of stuff. Jam-packed full of features on a tiny little unit. Let's take a look at it, shall we? Right, let's see what we got. Got a microphone. It's like a lapel mic. I guess that clips on the sun visor. I guess that'll be used for voice activation and hands-free. We have a Wi-Fi antenna. Video out 2. Front camera. Looks like a generic power and speaker connection. I'm guessing if your car doesn't have ISO, you can use this and it will just fit into any car. And lastly, we've got 2 sets of ISO leads depending on what your car needs. One of them will be, I guess, for Volkswagen, which will be a permanent power feed. So, and the other one will be for an ignition power feed. So the radio comes on with ignition. VWs are generally wired with a radio on a permanent live. So that's what they're for. We just need to choose the right one for our application. An instruction manual. Warranty manual. Some brackets and screws. Instruction manual. And the head unit itself. Single DIN, 5-inch touchscreen, wireless or wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, plus a hell of a lot more, and we'll go through all that in a minute. And there she is, all unboxed. Now, one thing that stands out to me straight away, because CDs now are pretty much a thing of the past. I can't imagine there's many there. Well, obviously there are people that still use it, but there's a lot of people that don't anymore. Because it doesn't have a CD player, it allows the unit to be quite a lot slimmer than it would be. Obviously there's a CD, and it is smaller than the width of a CD depth-wise, which is quite handy because that'll allow you to fit this into pretty much everything and anything. So looking at the front of the unit, starting over this side, we've got a microphone, a home button, a back button. Push that for power and volume. We've got a USB input for audio and video, and it will take up to a 2 TB SSD, which is pretty cool. Over this side, we have a micro SSD memory card slot, sorry. There is a reset button. Should anything go wrong, it crashes or whatever, you can poke something in there and it will reboot. On this one, twist that one way or t'other and that will skip tracks. Push for Vox, which is your voice activation. And then these 2 buttons here and here will switch on and off the front and rear cameras. Moving on to the rear of the unit, that's where the Wi-Fi antenna goes in. Obviously a usual FM radio antenna. This is a video input, which is what this lead goes to. And that is your video out and video out 2 and your front camera in. So you can connect the 2 video outs for headrest monitors. On here, we've got subwoofer output, rear camera input, it's your reverse camera, video in for auxiliary video input. These ones here are for connecting to an amplifier. So you've got your front left and right, rear left and right. And these are auxiliary audio inputs. You've got left in and right in. On the back here, we have a USB to connect to your phone or whatever. And then over here we have the power socket, which is what that will go into. And then we have an external microphone, and the IR is for the ATOTO steering wheel controls. If your car doesn't have steering wheel controls, you can have ATOTO's wireless steering wheel controls, and the receiver will plug into there. Incidentally, this does have a function on it to keep your existing steering wheel controls using an interface, and you can program the unit to accept your steering wheel controls, and we'll go through that when we get it in the car and set it all up later on. Right, depending on what car you've got, you may or may not have to purchase separately a fitting kit. Now, although the MG3 up to 2018 model is a single DIN sized hole for the radio, the actual fascia of the radio is an odd shape. So in order to fit a normal size single DIN radio, you would need a fascia plate. Obviously, if your fascia is just a normal DIN sized hole, you wouldn't need anything like that. And if you've got ISO connectors and no steering wheel controls, you're good to go. This one, it's the MG3 connection to standard ISO with an interface for the steering wheel buttons. And I've got some various extension leads for the DAB. I've got a feeling I'm going to lose the DAB because the ATOTO radio doesn't have it. I think, well, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have it. We'll find out when I connect it up. That's no biggie, because with Android Auto and CarPlay, you can just stream music anyway through your phone. And that's another part as well for the steering wheel controls. So hopefully I've got everything here that I need to fit this to my car. Right, so I've unpacked all my bits. So this is the wiring kit that converts the MG3 into a standard ISO. So it has got ISOs, but this incorporates the steering wheel control interface. And the way steering wheel controls work, without going into too much detail, only 2 wires are used, even though there's 4 buttons. Each button goes through a resistance. The resistance obviously changes the voltage, and then the head unit will interpret that voltage as to what button is being pressed. Now, in order to get this unit to understand what the steering wheel controls are saying, you need an interface. So the voltage is sent from the MG3 steering wheel controls into the interface. The interface does its voodoo magic and then converts the signal into something that can understand. That's basically how it works. So these will connect into there. That's your speakers and power. Easy. Right, and then we're left with this. Now, we've got this little plug here, which connects into there, and this is what we need to wire up to connect into this end. So looking at the diagram that is supplied with the steering wheel control kit, it covers all different makes of head unit. The one we're interested in is the top one. There are 2 different Chinese head units, that one and that one. This one is for the 3.5mm jack. Obviously there is no female end on this for this plug, so disregard that, which leaves us with these. So we want this diagram at the top here. So pin 1 is the brown wire, which is this. So looking at it, the diagram, the connector goes that way. We'll just zoom you in a bit. Okay, so the brown wire will go into pin 1. Oh, my eyes are bad. And that should lock in. There we go. And then pin 2, it says use one of the grey link wires. We don't need the link wires for anything else, so we'll put the grey wire in pin 2. Like so. Zoom you out again. Right, so that connector now goes into there. This wire, as you can see on there, SWC ground. So if we look on here, SWC ground. So the grey wire, that will loop back on itself. The grey wire will go into there. And then the brown wire will go into, where is it? Right, steering wheel key. That one there. And there is actually another steering wheel key. So it would be in one or the other of these. And we'll have to work that out when we get the head unit in the car. And I've lost it. There it is. So the brown wire will go into one of those. So we'll work that out when we get to the car. Well, that's where that one goes, into there, and that one goes into SWC ground. And then we can program the steering wheel controls in the head unit. And we'll say once this is receiving the signal from the steering wheel controls, we can then work it out and program them. So that one into one of them, that one SWC ground. Easy. On the back of the MG3 head unit is a separate plug apart from the ISO. And obviously that will plug into there, and that is from the steering wheel controls to this. And that's it. All fairly straightforward by the looks of it. Right, let's go out to the car and have a look. Right, so obviously the first thing I've got to do is remove the old unit. And I'm just using these universal radio removing tools. They should do it. That one in there. One in there. And basically pull him out. There we go. Right, I'll disconnect the original plugs off the back. Yeah, that one. And them two. And also we need to remove the original cage as well. Another one there as well. There we go. That's the old cage out. I should be able to straighten that if ever I need to put it back. That's all right. Okay. And then we've got the adapter. It should fit in there like so. Right, we'll whip this out for now because it's easier to work in the yard without that in there. And the other thing I've also noticed as well, and I was fiddling it about off camera, is now this is no fault of ATOTO because they didn't supply this. This was come from somewhere else. This cage does not fit in there, and it is quite a lot bigger than, if I was trying to look that through there, you can see how much bigger it needs to be. Now I've checked the radio, ATOTO's radio, to another head unit, and it is a single DIN. They haven't made the head unit bigger, so it's this that's the problem. Now I haven't got time to be going back to the company that supplied this and saying it doesn't fit, bloody blah blah, so I'm just going to modify it because I don't have time to be playing around like that. Right then, now I've left the steering wheel interface off from now. I'm not bothered about that for a minute. We're going to worry about that later as well. I just want to have a look at the head unit because I'm impatient like that. Right, so that plugs into there, and then this bit goes into the other part of the MG harness, which is for the steering controls, which I am going to connect up later on. So the interface is off at the minute. I'm just going to leave it off, and we'll worry about that later on. Right, so antenna into there. I need to run indoors to get the Wi-Fi antenna. We'll sort that in a minute when I sort out doing all the pairing the phone and everything. Power it into there. Right, stuffing that down there for now. Poke that in the hole. Right. Let's take you off a tripod so we can get a better look at it. Right, turn the key on. It's a bit loud. Right, tune into a station. There we go. Right, turn that down. I don't want a copyright strike if any music comes on. Right, so if I hit the home button, that takes us into here. So we've got Android Auto, radio, menu, phone, and CarPlay. Let's have a look in here. So CarPlay, Android Auto, radio, select USB, Bluetooth music, micro SD, Bluetooth, AVN, we've got another one, equalizer, settings, USB 2, rear camera, DVR camera, resources, not sure what that is, auto link, that's, I think you can probably play YouTube videos from your phone. We'll have a look at that in a bit. Okay. Let's get the phone paired to it and actually, let's have a look. Let's run through the settings and see what we can do. Change the backlight colour. Right, we'll have that red because the dash lights on the MG are red. There we go. That changes these, so that's nice. So that matches the rest of the interior. Touch calibration, we don't need to do that because it's working. Steer wheel position, left, oh, right. Why it matters if which way the steering wheel is, I don't know. But right, let's have a look now. Oh, wallpaper. Various different wallpapers. I wonder if you can upload your own and perhaps have the MG logo on there or something. Screensaver. What about that? Equalizer. You can choose different. We'll have a dance because you like a bit of dance music. A bit more bass though. Yeah. Okay, with some careful cutting with this multi-tool, I have removed that much from there. So now the cage now fits into there. So yeah, and it didn't turn out too bad in the end, quite neat, so I'm happy with that. Right, steering wheel keys. The grey button, the grey wire, as I showed earlier on in pin 2, goes to SWC ground. Oh, it's falling off my lap. The other wire, the brown wire here, goes to this wire, the orange wire, steering wheel key plus. There's another steering wheel one on here, which is not used. That one there, steering wheel key hashtag plus. That one's not used. So we use the orange wire. And now what we need to do is we need to program the head unit to know what the steering wheel buttons do. And I'll show you now. Okay, in order to program the steering wheel controls, what we have to do. So go into here. Settings. We've got SWC key up here. And you get a list of buttons of what you want your steering wheel buttons to do. So what you do is you hold on the steering wheel control, the MG3, we've got up and down and then change the stations. That's it. There's no answer phone or anything like that. So push and hold volume up and then press the volume up key. Like that. And these stored. Push and hold volume down. Push the volume down key. Push and hold seek left. Push seek left. Push and hold seek right. Push seek right. Hopefully that's done it. Then press OK and they should be stored. Right, go home. So now select the radio. There we go.
On a Saturday, you absolute trooper.
So that's the volume up and down on the steering wheel, and then seek. It's actually going through the presets, look. There we go, it's as easy as that. I'm quite surprised actually. Sometimes I amaze myself. Okay, pairing your phone should be the same as pairing any other phone to any other device. So there's the device name up the top there. So go into our Bluetooth settings, and it's scanning now. And there it is. It's come up down the bottom there. Select that. Yep. Now it's come up there. Steve's S20 connected. Now hopefully the CarPlay should work. So come out of here. There's CarPlay. Now it should connect the there we go. It's automatically connected to the Wi-Fi of my phone, even though I haven't selected Wi-Fi and put in any password or anything. It's automatically connected, so that's good. And the other thing I've noticed with this, which is quite smart, is at the moment we're on night mode. If I turn the headlights off, it is dark outside. This is why I'm using artificial light, because I have run out of light. If I turn the headlights off, the screen, although you can't see it too well because of the lighting that I'm using, it does go into night mode and dark mode with the headlights, which is nice. Okay, so that's Android Auto is up and working. Let's have a go at getting the wireless display, the phone mirroring working. So we'll see if we can play a YouTube video on it. So before we do that, we need to disconnect CarPlay. So what I'll do is I'll change the Wi-Fi to the network in the house, because at the moment, see, S5 series or S5 wireless. So connect that to the Wi-Fi in the house. Right, so I'm connected to the Wi-Fi in the house now. So the Android Auto should be disabled. Let's just continue on the car stream. Right, let's plug in a lead. So we go home, on here, auto link. Please connect the phone via the, you can see there's QR code on there. You need to download an app first for an Android phone, which I've already done. Now hopefully when I plug this in, it should mirror my phone. Says it's connecting. Start now. There you go, my phone is now on the screen, so we get YouTube up. We don't want YouTube Premium, do we? There we go. That's one of my videos, and the audio will come through. When it's first arrived, it's been here, sitting here 2 years. It's done nothing, covered in filler dust. It is eventually going to get restored. That's pretty cool. I like that feature. Right, let's stop that. CC4 should be just pull the lead out and it will stop. There we go. And that's okay. So that's that. Right, what else have we got on here? Right, I've had a look at, right, this resources. You can use the QR code, you can check for firmware updates, you can download user manuals, report issues and online troubleshooting and FAQs. That's quite a handy feature. I've not tried it yet, but it's on there if you get stuck, or because this is brand new out, this unit. And if I go into DVR cam, the software for that is not actually released yet, and there's supposed to be an update to make that work. So I read in the instruction manual, it might already be out. I haven't checked. R-cam, there's a reverse camera, and there is a wire on the back of the head unit which you can connect into your reverse light. So when you select reverse, the reverse camera will automatically come on, and you can choose with or without guidelines in the settings menu. The guidelines on this are not adjustable, so you need to put the camera in a position where the guidelines are going to correspond with your parking space. Front camera, you can have a parking camera on the front if your windscreen doesn't work. So yeah, you can, and you can obviously select it on here, front and rear cameras. So if you want to nose up to something close at front end, you can have a front camera for that. EQ, we've been through that. Settings, we've been through that. I don't think there's anything more to cover on settings. You can swap your camera around so it mirrors the image, which is nice. If you can only mount the camera a certain way, you can mirror the image. On this side we've got change your language time, the version info, screensaver. You can, I've actually had to play with a screensaver. You can set the time for when it comes on, and then it basically just displays the background wallpaper with a clock in the corner. What else was I looking at? Yeah, reversing guidelines for your camera, you can turn them on and off. Reversing sound attenuation, if you've got the radio on and you select reverse, you can get it to mute the music on your radio, either to like a sensible level, or you can actually have it so it switches it completely off until then when you come out of reverse, music come back on again. That's about it really. Auto front view, you can make it so it defaults to the front camera after coming out of reverse. You can make it so it will default to the front camera if you want, and that'll actually give you, it doesn't record, but it just gives you a view on the screen out the front, where depending on wherever you put the camera. Now I am going to make full use of the features on this, because I am going to put headrest monitors in here. The reverse camera, I have got a reverse camera, but it won't fit this because of a different plug. So I'm not sure what to do. I don't know whether to just keep it as it is or get another one that will fit this. I don't know yet. But I am going to fit headrest monitors, I am going to fit a subwoofer, and I am going to fit an amplifier and better door speakers as well. So yeah, watch this space. I am going to make full use of the features that this has to offer. I'm really pleased with this. Oh, yes, and another thing, when I mentioned earlier on about wallpapers, could I have my own? Yes, you can put them on a memory card and whack the memory card in there, and then when you go to select your wallpapers, it will come up on the list. So yeah, that's cool. I like that. So there we are. I think this is brilliant. I say the touch screen is responsive. It doesn't seem to lag. It's just nice. It boots up quick when you start the car. I haven't got a bad thing to say about it, really. I think it's a cracking bit of kit. So if you want one of these or any other ATOTO's products, they do double DIN Android head units, so amplifiers, speakers. They do an Android AI box for this as well, so you can have a full Android operating system on here. So you can have YouTube straight on the thing, as well as the Talk app, which will give you, you could read your car's fault codes. You will need an adapter that plugs into the OBD port for that. Yeah, I'll leave a link down in the description for ATOTO's website. Go check them out. They've got lots of stuff available. From what I've seen so far, I've been playing around with this now for a couple of days. It's a really, really nice bit of kit. I am quite happy with it. So yeah, link down in the description on where you can get their stuff. Go and have a browse of their website. Check out what they got. Plenty available. And I think for all your in-car entertainment needs, look no further. Cheers for watching all. I'll see you next time. All the best.